Tonight, the Tourism Minister, Anthony Moles, says politics is getting harder. He says this could be his last term. And the PSU still at odds with the Ministry of Finance. But did it lead to a walkout today at the Tax Services Department? We'll take you there. Also, things are coming to an head between the Police Department and the Dreadlocks Police. We'll talk to the Attorney General. Plus, we'll have a special feature on the entrepreneur behind a very stylish coffee cart coming straight out of St. Matthew's Village. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Wednesday, February 18th, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indira Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
At Cellular World, we believe technology shouldn't just be functional. It should make your home uniquely yours. Design your smart home with the full range of Samsung appliances and TVs. Equip your kitchen with smart and stylish fridges, advanced microwaves, and whisper-quiet dishwashers, bringing smart living to the heart of your home. Make daily tasks simple with efficient smart washers, powerful dryers, or an all-in-one laundry hub that adapts to your lifestyle. Experience true-to-life colors and spot-on sound with the Samsung Q LED Smart TV. Connect all your spaces instantly with the Smart Thing app for seamless control wherever you go. Get all your Samsung products today with the peace of mind that only the 1-year warranty from the authorized distributor can give you. So stop by your favorite location and start designing your smart home today, only at Cellular World.
Every connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower beliefs.
The NEBL basketball is back. 7 teams vying for the mega $100,000 cash pot. First place walks away with $70,000 cash. Second is $30,000. Opening night is Friday, February 20th at the Belize City Civic Center. Gates open at 6 for showtime at 7:30 with a wicked doubleheader featuring the biting San Pedro Tiger Sharks versus the Gunners from the West, the Cayo Western Ballers. And in game 2, will the big bad Belize City Defenders defend the city against the upstart Orange Walk Running Rebels? Giveaways galore and the big $5,000 cash shooting contest. Plus a big halftime show featuring the General Super G. Be one of the first 200 fans to receive a free token. This NEBL season will be fully seasoned.
Your time is valuable. That's why SARA is coming. A modern revenue authority built to make managing your taxes simpler, faster, and more convenient than ever before. With SARA, you can expect improved services from quicker responses to queries to faster processing of your tax refunds. No long waits. Filing or paying your taxes? With SARA, you'll be able to do it securely online at any time, from anywhere, thanks to us placing a greater focus on digital convenience and secure digital records. The SARA will also commit to consistent and fair application of tax laws via a risk-based audit and compliance strategy and increased data-driven reforms. With SARA, most of your tax business will be handled online, saving you time to focus on what matters most: your business, your family, your life. And if you need in-person help, SARA will still have staff ready to assist you at all satellite offices countrywide. SARA, tax services made simpler, faster, and more convenient for you.
roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for a journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
What happens when one person decides to make a change? In communities across Belize, we're seeing the answer.
Hi, I'm Kayla Linares. I love being outside and surrounded by nature. When I heard about the national cleanup, I signed up right away. I don't litter, and I help clean up Belize, one piece of trash at a time.
It starts with one choice, one moment, one step towards something better. Across our beautiful country, everyday heroes are making a difference. In just one day, nearly 2,000 volunteers collected over 40,000 pounds of garbage. From local groups to national partners, Belizeans are uniting to protect what we love. Every cleanup, every piece of properly disposed waste, every conversation, it all creates a ripple effect. But we can't just continue to clean up after everybody's mess. Let's prevent it and be proactive, not reactive. Because remember, our Belize, our responsibility. Din it.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology. It's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Integrating technologies will redefine how Belize produces and uses energy. With distributed generation and smart grid technologies, customers are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. We work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures, customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter, smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service and actionable energy insights, distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Anthony Moller. He was first elected to be the Pickstock area rep in 2020 and actually won by default in 2025. But the Minister of Tourism says he's just about had it with the current state of politics. Moller today suggested that this may just be his last term in politics. Today, in a raw assessment of the state of things, Moller explained that politics is difficult and it is getting much harder, leading him to a terminal conclusion.
This takes a toll on you, you know.
It does.
This takes a toll on you. Before I came here, I saw about 75 people at my office, and the needs are getting great. Social media has created a different expectation on people, and so it takes a toll on you to try to find the resources to help everybody or to as many people as possible.
You're saying politics has become more difficult.
It has. In fact, I spoke to somebody close to Right Honorable Said Musa, and he said when the Prime Minister was the Prime Minister then, that right now, if you look at it, 1 year is equivalent to 3 years for them. So by the end of this term, I would have done 30. So that's a long time.
Are you giving that serious thought to retire? Like, could this be your last term?
It could be. Wow. And I'm saying it to the nation.
And one former colleague who'll be sad to see him go is Shine Barrow, who recently gave Moller his flowers when he spoke on a New York radio show. Barrow said that Moller was one of the best tourism ministers Belize has ever had. So, even though he says he's walking away with all the goodwill that he's developed, would Moller consider a run for party leader? He explained that he would still support the PM.
We've had many discussions about where we see Belize in the future and where we see our people will be in the future. And so it's just mutual respect from both of us. And I am proud of what he's doing right now. Nothing keeps him down, whether it's jail or losing the election in mess up, he still rises. And that's a good story to tell for anybody.
Minister, in relation...
But to answer your question, no, sir. John Briceño is the leader of the People's United Party. And whenever that decision is made, when he decides to retire, maybe I retire with him, and who knows.
We also spoke to another ranking PUP today, and that's Minister of State Gilroy Usher Sr. You don't see him on the news too often, but today he invited the media to an event for first-time landowners. You'll see that later on in the news. But we did ask him how he feels about the SpeedNet acquisition. He held a new party line: let the people, not the BTL Board of Directors, decide.
My position is that the people, BTL should consult with the people, the government should consult with the people, and that the voices of the people should have the sway at the end of the day. Whatever the people decide, I'm fully supportive of that. I believe in letting the people have their say on that matter.
No, it's no.
If it's no, it's no. And if they say yes, well, it's yes.
And then how should consultation look though?
Well, for consultation, they need to engage with the NGOs, they need to engage with interest groups and go there and really answer the questions that the people ask. Whatever questions they ask, try their best to answer the questions, and then the people will decide. But don't say you have a consultation, but only spoon feed information that you think will persuade people to think a particular way. Give them all the facts and let the people decide.
Did BTL convince you when it made its presentation to cabinet?
Well, as a cabinet, we agreed that the cabinet will delay its decision until all the consultations have been completed. All right, there is much room for more robust consultation. And so I will leave it at that. I will support whatever the people decide on this issue.
Like we said, we'll have more from Usher later on in the news. And in other news, the PSU and the NTUCB continue to wrestle with the Ministry of Finance over the future shape of the Semi-Autonomous Revenue Authority. Today, the union sent a letter to the Financial Secretary saying that the current proposal for the tax transition of the Belize Tax Service Department to a Semi-Autonomous Revenue Authority is inconsistent with the agreement reached with the unions. And that's why members of the Public Service Union of Belize and the National Trade Union Congress showed up at the Eleanor Hall building this afternoon to meet with the FinSec and CEO of the Ministry of Public Service to discuss the transition. The PSU is representing public officers who currently work in the Belize Tax Service Department as their bargaining agents. But there was nothing they could bargain for today because the FinSec and the CEO were at the Eleanor Hall meeting, but not to meet with the unions. PSU President Dean Flowers explained to us outside.
The purpose of our presence here today is that the Financial Secretary would have summoned a meeting to address the continued discussion and dialogue on the BTSD transitioning to a semi-autonomous revenue authority now. So we came here today with the hope of continuing that dialogue to ensure that the Belizean people get value for money where $28 million in taxpayers' dollars have been expended without any justification as to how it was spent and what was achieved as a result of that. And also moving past that, we would have discussed the government's proposal to transition BTSD into a semi-autonomous revenue authority. Unfortunately, we got here and without any real communication to the union, we were informed that the meeting had been cancelled. It's unfortunately that you didn't get the opportunity to ask the Financial Secretary and the Undersecretary or the CEO in the Ministry of Public Service their reason for not showing up to the meeting. They were here, but I guess the presence of the employees who stood in solidarity with welcoming us today, and I must recognize that strong show of trade unionism. That is what you do. You stand beside each other to ascertain your position. We have a mandate from the membership. We have a mandate from the employees that are directly affected, and we have delivered that mandate through the Financial Secretary and the government of Belize, and we expect that as servants to the people, that they will listen, that they will invite us back again around the negotiating table, and that we will negotiate a smooth transition from a government department, if it is, that it is justifiable, and that we will ensure that we get it right this time, because we sure as hell did not get it right under the amalgamated department.
As a union, Flowers says that the PSU has a mandate to ensure that the constitutionally enshrined protections are maintained, especially where it affects their members. He says that either way, the members will be impacted by the outcome of the SARA transition.
I think the biggest one for them would be, how can the Public Service Commission employ me under Section 105 of the Belize Constitution, 105 and 106, which establishes the public service and the commission, and then you have a contracted officer telling them what will be what will become of their career. A contracted officer in both the financial secretary and the director general, saying to them, for you to remain in public service or for you to remain in anything that has to do with this department, you either transfer via an interview into SARA, you either resign, you either transfer into the wider public service, or if you're over 50, you retire. These people have no power vested in them. They have a contract of 110,000 plus gratuity of 58,000. They don't have no power to dictate the livelihood and the career development of these public officers, and this is where we have a problem. We're saying to them that know your place and ensure that you're following not only the Constitution but the regulation and the Trade Union and Employers and Trade Unions and Employers Registration Act, where any policy decision that could interfere or change the terms and conditions of these services, of these officers are concerned, that you come and you speak with their bargaining agent through consultation and negotiation.
And aside from the impacts, Flowers say that there are several other areas of concern that are unclear to them. And one of them is what motivated this transition in the first place.
And we want to know what drove this policy decision. We want to know and ensure that this is not another what are the document that the Prime Minister tear up in the House? The Portico Agreement. We want to know that no another Portico Agreement, this one just one transition. We want to know that this is another unjustified smart to BTL acquisition. We want to know that when SARA comes about, if it comes about, that there was full disclosure to the Belizean people, how it will be run, how it will be accounted for, and we don't want to hear that through an advertisement that is currently running, which effectively is saying that the department is being run inefficiently, that the department cannot even get tax refunds right. Because if you listen carefully to the advertisement, it's an indictment on the management. It's an indictment on the management, and I don't know how the hell they had the audacity to run something like that in public.
And while we met tax service department employees outside the office, which made it look a whole lot like a walkout, the union says it was not a walkout per se, but instead they stood by in support while they waited for GOB to bounce the ball into their court.
They walked out today, and that walkout was something that they did on their own, correct?
Yes, the officers were fully aware that there would be a meeting today, and they wanted to greet us. I mean, we're their bargaining agent, so it wasn't a walkout. All public officers are entitled to a 15-minute break. And so it's not, I wouldn't consider it a walkout. If it was a walkout, trust me, they wouldn't have walked back in. So it was not a walkout, it was a meet and greet with the leadership team.
So by when do you hope to come back to the negotiating table?
Unfortunately, I cannot speak on behalf of the Undersecretary, the Financial Secretary, nor the Ministry of Public Service. So I wouldn't know.
And we'll take our first break now, but there's much more news ahead, including Jules Vasquez asking the Attorney General about the advice that he's giving the police about their dreadlocks corporal. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Clean and maintain your yard the best way with Honda trimmers and lawn mowers. Honda Lawn and Garden Equipment, available at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
festival come to this very nation.
In Isaiah 30:29 it says, and you will sing as on the night you celebrate a holy festival, and your heart will rejoice. The body of Christ will unite, and many hearts will rejoice on the Saturday, March 7, 2026 at the Belize Civic Center, beginning at 6 p.m. as a Heavenly's Productions brings to you Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus.
Featuring the hottest gospel artist coming out of the Bahamas, Sherwin Gardner.
So I say, with all of my heart and all of my soul, I worship you, O Jah. Tell them that the praises never stop. All I want to do is give you the highest praise.
Also showcasing one of the biggest gospel artists from out of Trinidad and Tobago, Positive, dropping his hit tunes.
Rolling in my two-man army, my Jesus and I wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae. Blessing after blessing and nothing can hold it back.
And then it's the return of the biggest gospel band in Belize, Heavenly.
I'm gonna be heavenly's for life, serving Jesus Christ.
And all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, USA, the daughter of the world-famous televangelist Creflo Dollar, none other than Jordan Dollar, with her hit song. Also highlighting Genesis 501 from Capital City, Pepper Pan. Blind Sight, Genesis Gospel Band from Sugar City, Orange Walk. Reality Youth, Pastor Herman Blees and the Kings Park Prince team. Pastor Frederick Gordon and Garin Carballo and his GCO group. Remember Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus. Rocking on the world. I said,
Taking place Saturday, March 7, Belize Civic Center from 6 p.m. until. Bring out the entire family for a time of praising God and witnessing souls being saved and lives being recommitted to God. For tickets, call 615-4766. That's 615-4766. Sponsors: Angela's Press, Racina's Imports, Cellular World, Love FM, More FM, Quem Radio, Vibes Radio, Plus TV, Channel 7, Channel 5, and Wave Radio. Come on out and be blessed.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus.
A deed poll is the process of legally changing one's name from how it is officially recorded on a Belizean birth certificate or Belizean nationality certificate. By applying for a deed poll, you will obtain a deed poll certificate, which serves as legal proof of the name change. It also establishes the legal recognition of your new name for all official purposes. Once a deed poll is completed, you must update all other forms of identification, such as Social Security card, passport, and driver's license to your name. Otherwise, penalties may be imposed under the laws of Belize. Who can apply? Any citizen of Belize 18 years or older can apply for a deed poll. For persons under the age of 18 years, the parents must apply for the deed poll on behalf of the minor. The new CRVS, digitally connecting citizens to all vital statistic services. Visit crvs.gov.bz today to obtain your deed poll.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
A safer Belize begins with all of us, and the Belize Police Department is taking bold steps to build that future together. The new 2025-2029 Crime Control and Crime Prevention Strategy is transforming policing from the ground up, reforming practices, rebuilding trust, and strengthening accountability. With investments in modern technology, upgraded infrastructure, and smart data-driven tools, officers will respond faster, work smarter, and endeavor to keep communities safer. This plan puts community partnership at its core. It will require more engagement, result in more transparency, and introduce new programs that support our youth, prevent violence, and promote second chances. From fighting gang violence and illegal firearms to confronting emerging threats like cybercrime, the BPD is building stronger, smarter, more specialized teams to protect every Belizean. And with enhanced training and leadership development, our officers are better prepared than ever to serve with integrity and professionalism. The Belize Police Department is rebuilding, reforming, and renewing its commitment to you. Together, we can create a safer, stronger Belize.
The NEBL bounces off with a big opening weekend this Friday night at the Belize Civic Center. The Biting Tiger Sharks goes head-to-head with the upstart Cayo Western Ballers in our 7:30 p.m. opener. Then in Game 2 at 9 p.m., the big bad Belize City Defenders will try to defend the city as they come under fire from the Orange Walk Running Rebels. At the end of the first and third quarter, fans will get a chance to win cell phones, TVs, weekend stay, plus more. The first 300 kids get a free popcorn. Ozzy the Clown will be clowning around the debut of the NEBL girls. And at halftime, the big $5,000 cash Ministry of Tourism, Youth, Sports and Diaspora Relations Shooting Challenge. The General Super G alongside Champion Squad out of Miami, No Fear DJs and more. On Saturday night, 8 p.m., we head to Belmopan at the UB Gymnasium as the Belmopan Trojans look to overthrow the new Warriors from the North, the Corozal Spartans. Giveaways all night, plus live performance by Vida, sponsored by the Government of Belize.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Your monthly water bill is officially going up. The Public Utilities Commission has issued its final decision on Belize Water Services Limited's rate review, and the results will affect your pocketbook starting this April. While BWS originally asked for a 20% rate hike, the PUC has capped that increase at 13.5%. For the average customer, that translates to about a 5.5% increase on your monthly bill. The decision follows a review period that began late last year, while the overall rate increase was settled in November. A new minimum charge has been added to the final ruling. BWS requested and the PUC approved a minimum bill for anyone using between 0 to 600 gallons of water. The Commission says this ensures that even low-usage customers contribute their reasonable share of the costs required to maintain service in their area. These new rates are locked in for the next 5 years, running through March of 2031. The full 20-page decision is now available for public viewing on the PUC website at puc.bz. Last night's headline was about the Belize communication workers for justice after BTL agreed to pay them their severance. Their leaders were thankful but noted that the union, which they helped found, which is for current employees showed them no solidarity. Well, the Police Communication Workers Union has fired back with a lengthy release saying those statements were misleading. They say, quote, the BCWU has remained actively and consistently engaged with BTL and all relevant parties to ensure compliance with the Caribbean Court of Justice's judgment, safeguarding current BTL workers' rights and supporting former employees affected by the matter, end quote. After providing a detailed timeline, they say, quote, BCWU regrets the public attacks directed at its executive and our membership throughout the resolution process and reiterates that every action taken was guided by the best interests, safety, and expressed mandate of its membership. Corporal Kenrick Bull is the Rastafarian police officer who says he should be allowed to wear well-groomed dreadlocks while serving as a police officer. As we told you last night, he was warned to remove the locks, and now he's being placed on suspension for unspecified infractions. Bull has already lawyered up, and he chose Leslie Mendez. She's the same attorney who secured the landmark 2021 judgment where the Supreme Court affirmed that 2 female police officers were free to wear their dreadlocks. Accompanying her in that landmark case was another crusading human rights attorney, Anthony Sylvester, who is now the Attorney General, basically the government's attorney. So, since he helped to set the precedent, will he advise the police department to stand down in its action against Corporal Bull? Well, Sylvester sees things slightly different now, and so he and news director Jules Vasquez had a lively exchange about it.
Are you observing this case and are you advising on this case?
So we are observing this case, and in fact, actually, there's a meeting we have tomorrow with the police department to specifically address the issue. So I saw, I think in your newscast, Ms. Mendez, who, my friend, by the way, we work on that case together, actually, and so she's a very formidable attorney, and so I know that she is coming. So she's coming good. She's coming good. So I won't say too much because we haven't formally responded to her, and I think it'd be more prudent to have our response be formalized in a letter to her. But suffice it to say, so now in this seat, I have a better appreciation for the need for certain policies and rules and laws to be in place, particularly as it relates to a body like the police department, which must be disciplined and much be organized. And so, as you rightly pointed out, my job is to ensure that and it's to advise. So, a particular department or ministry, they may have a policy and they may have a reason, a rationale for that policy, which is one of the things courts look to, because it's very important. As I said, the police department is an organized, disciplined body, and it works for all of us. And so it's important, therefore, that we have a system in place, and as well we have rules and in place that allow for them to be effective and efficient in the discharge of their duty as a department.
Are you being an acrobat here insofar as flipping positions on your own precedent, which you set in the regional landmark of the Rastafari, of the women police officers with dreadlocks? You're going against your own judgment.
I like that. No, I'm not being an acrobat. I wish I were that prolific, Physically, I had the physical prowess. No, but really, cases really are fact specific. So you have to look at the specific facts, and so we're still in that process, and we'll properly advise the police department accordingly.
But you would be accused of being at the heights of hypocrisy.
Absolutely,
AG,
I appreciate that.
because you yourself wear locks.
Exactly, but I am not an attorney general for for Rastas or persons only who wear dreadlocks, but for all Belizeans. And so I have to make a decision based on what's in the best interest of the entire country. So you
But it
appreciate
still
that.
pertains that women with braids or with locks are able to wear those. That's still
yes.
So then male officers have a different set of rights than women officers, than female officers.
Well, again, so we would there are restrictions. Obviously, there are restrictions. So, for instance, a male officer can't wear a female police uniform. Why? So you may question me as to why can't he? So there are, and there are certain policies and certain rules that are required and that are necessary. But certainly, I accept that I am in the crossfire because the position that I held before, and in this position, I I have different set of instructions, and so
As a
I have
wearer
to.
of locks yourself, suppose they said in the cabinet, in John Bricenio's cabinet, no more dreadlocks.
They won't say that.
But what Cabinet is doing or has agreed to do is to bring the Legal Aid Act of 2023 into force and to establish the Legal Aid Commission in the new fiscal year. It's a great leap forward for the office, which has never really had any formal direction. Under the new law, it will be managed by a commission which will have representation from the Judiciary, DPP's office, the Bar Association, the Solicitor General, and the Human Development Department. Sylvester, who started his career in the Legal Aid Office, said, "It's an important means of delivering justice to everyday people, and it will provide services in specific areas."
And so the purpose is to allow individuals who otherwise would not have the means to be able to have legal advice and to be able to have legal service because the services are not are not limited to only representation in criminal matters, but as well in civil matters. So the intention is to have representation and legal services in family matters, in administration of estate matters, and in a limited number of other civil matters. Amongst the services that this Legal Aid Act seeks to provide is to extend the services to in cases for emergency domestic emergency services for domestic violence application, where persons who may need to seek legal a domestic violence violence restraining order that outside of the normal court hours, that service is provided.
The full rollout will cost $5 million, which the government will roll out over 5 years with $1 million earmarked each year. And as you heard, one of the areas that the reconstituted Legal Aid Office will help with is securing grants of administration to put the estate of deceased persons into probate. It's a daunting and costly process for those who can't afford an attorney, and estates that do not go through the probate process are often subject to land theft. We asked Sylvester about it.
The administration of the estates of deceased persons is one of the greatest lacunae in the administration of public law, insofar as poor people can't afford to get a grant of administration. And it leaves the estates in abeyance, and then vultures come, create false grants of administration through nefarious means, and in so doing, take poor people land that has never been executed as a part of a deceased person's estate. It is one of the greatest areas of theft from persons whose estates have not been executed. Is this something that legal aid could help to address? Because the threshold of hiring a lawyer to get a grant of administration, it's $10,000 to $12,000.
Yes, no, certainly. And so that, if you were to look at the representation in administration of estate is specifically listed as one of the services that will be provided for those who access the legal service. And in tandem with that, I would like to share that currently the senior courts, they are reviewing the administration of estates rules to try to reform them, try to simplify them, because those as well are things that are a little bit drawback. So if a lay person wanted to do it, him or herself, they may find it a little bit torturous. So that is being done in tandem with that specific service that will now be available.
Turning now to health. Launched in 2024, the WHO SPECS 2023 initiative is aimed at helping countries to increase the number of persons who can access eye care by 40%. The initiative has now made its way to Belize, solidifying partnerships with other NGOs like BCVI, One Sight, and the Essilor Loxotica Foundation. These partners met to discuss a way forward in achieving SPECS 2030's goals in Belize, and here's how it went. Jo Marie Lanza reports.
Belize has joined in alongside WHO and the 20 other countries currently engaged in the SPECS 2030 initiative that seeks to assist 1 billion people globally with uncorrected vision impairment. The Director of Public Health and Wellness told us how they plan to address those gaps they have identified here in Belize when it comes to improving the public access to eye care.
So we're here today to do a launch of the WHO SPECS 2030 initiative, working in collaboration with BCVI, the Belize Council for the Visually Impaired, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and One Sight. WHO SPECS 2030 is a global initiative that has been launched where they're trying to ensure that persons who have a vision impairment or vision issues have readily accessible screening, cost-effective services in order for them to improve their sight. As I had mentioned in the opening remarks, there are about 2.2 billion persons who suffer worldwide with visual issues, and 1 billion of those persons have not had access to get testing and to get glasses to improve their vision. So this launch is just the beginning of the launch. We'll be working closely with BCVI because BCVI has offices in all of our facilities, and BCVI and the Ministry of Health and Wellness will work together to improve screening. So places that we would like to ensure that people are screened, schools, for example. We do have many students who might not have been picked up or have never visited an ophthalmologist or an optometrist to determine whether or not they do need glasses for reading or for seeing the board. So the initiative is to help to correct refractive errors by utilizing glasses and to help to ensure that people have easy access to these services.
So what are the changes that we should expect to see now that Belize has joined in on the initiative? The executive director for BCVI explained that the project requires rigorous on-the-ground work.
So we're looking at human resource development as a key component of SPECS's focus and as well as our focus. It's something that if you look throughout the country and you think about like, well, where can I go see an eye doctor? I can't see properly. What are my options? At BCVI, we have 5 clinics throughout the country, and those are equipped or staffed by an ophthalmic assistant and an optometrist. We want to be able to increase the reach that we have, so not just waiting for people to come to us. We want to be able to go out and do more. That involves working with schools, doing school screenings. It involves training community health workers and teachers and other health officers as well to be able to do basic visual acuities or assessments and refer people in for a proper eye exam, but also us going out and seeing people and doing full clinics out in communities as well.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
Last night, we broke the news on a confirmed case of tuberculosis, TB, in a 16-year-old female student at a Belize City high school. Well, now it's 2. A press release from the Ministry of Health and Wellness today says, quote, the diagnosis was confirmed clinically and through laboratory testing on February 12, 2026. The student attends E.P. York High School in Belize City. The patient has been promptly initiated on appropriate anti-tuberculosis treatment and is responding well to therapy. In addition, a household family member, a 10-year-old student at Ephesus Primary School, presented the non-specific symptoms and was evaluated at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital Authority, KHMHA. Based on the clinical assessment, the child was diagnosed with tuberculosis and has also been started on treatment. Since confirmation of these cases, the MOHW has notified the respective schools and has initiated standard public health protocols. Contact tracing is currently underway to identify and assess individuals who may have been in close contact with the cases. Appropriate screening and follow-up measures are being conducted in accordance with national TB guidelines. The ministries continue to monitor the situation closely and remain committed to protecting the health and well-being of all students and the wider communities. In other health news, at the beginning of the year, the flu bug was making its rounds in homes, schools, and in offices. And when we spoke with the Director of Public Health and Wellness today, she revealed that they did see an increase in influenza strain in Belize that was also spreading in the U.S. and Canada. Dr. Diaz Musa says that the ministry does still provide extensive testing for these viruses, and with that, they also have vaccines available. She gave us more details on that today.
In January, we saw an increase in H2N3, which is an influenza virus, and that's the subtype of the virus. That was the one that was spreading in the United States, in Canada, in different areas. And we are able to test at the Central Medical Lab again. We test for influenza A, influenza B, COVID, and many of the other viral infections. The recent report shows that it has become now stagnant, and hopefully we'll see a fall in this. I want to take this opportunity to say that we also have the flu vaccine available at every health facility, private and public, and the pneumococcal vaccine that helps to prevent pneumonias and other diseases in children and adults. So I encourage you all to go out and get this as soon as possible.
In addition to vaccines in stock, we also asked about a shortage in medication for mental health patients that reportedly ran out some time ago. Musa gave us an update on that stock as well.
I know that in 2025, and we had addressed that in numerous interviews before, we did have stockouts of certain medications. And as I've said, we're improving our supply chain management, and we don't envision that that would be a problem for the upcoming months. At this point, we do not have an issue with shortage of mental health medication because our stocks have been coming in up to date now. And we are trying to ensure that each facility has the stock that is needed. We do know, and at this point, we are trying to strengthen our supply chain management. And in the supply chain management, there are many aspects, and communication among staff, forecasting. There are many things that we're looking at in order to improve this system and in order to ensure that we do not have stockouts.
And in other health-related news, over the years, there have been steady reports that health inspectors are being induced not to conduct their inspections or submit accurate reports to the ministry. We took up those allegations with Dr. Diaz today, and here's how she responded.
Well, I really don't know where you're getting your reports, but that is absolutely not true. We haven't heard anything like that. And anytime we hear, anytime that something like that comes up, we do our full investigation. Our environmental health staff, which includes the public health inspectors and the vector control officers, work very diligently. They have significant responsibilities when it comes to public health and preventative care in society and community, and they're easily accessible and very transparent. You'll always see them walking around, inspecting grocery stores, looking at restaurants, dealing with complaints, water testing. So there's a wide array of services that they provide. So the environmental health program, many years ago, these programs were managed under the Ministry of Health. We have moved away from that, and these programs now come under the regions. So each region would have the staff that they monitor day to day, the staff's activities. There are monthly reports that are presented to us and to their technical advisors. So in headquarters, we do have technical advisors or technical experts in the area, who would go out and assist if there are any major concerns that these officers are not able to deal with. The public health inspectors and vector control officers also have supervisors working with them in the regions, and those supervisors also report to the primary care coordinators and the deputy and regional health managers for each region.
We'll take a final break now. When we come back, we'll have a special feature on the entrepreneur behind a very stylish coffee cart coming straight out of St. Matthew's Village. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m., en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The NEBL bounces off with a big opening weekend this Friday night at the Belize Civic Center. The Biting Tiger Sharks goes head-to-head with the upstart Cayo Western Ballers in our 7:30 p.m. opener. Then in Game 2 at 9 p.m., the big bad Belize City defenders will try to defend the city as they come under fire from the Orange Walk Running Rebels. At the end of the first and third quarter, fans will get a chance to win cell phones, TVs, weekend stay, plus more. The first 300 kids get a free popcorn. Ozzy the Clown will be clowning around the debut of the NEBL girls. And at halftime, the big $5,000 cash Ministry of Tourism, Youth, Sports and Diaspora Relations Shooting Challenge. The General Super G alongside Champion Squad out of Miami, No Fear DJs and more. On Saturday night, 8 p.m., we head to Belmopan at the UB Gymnasium as the Belmopan Trojans look to overthrow the new Warriors from the North, the Corozal Spartans. Giveaways all night, plus live performance by Vida, sponsored by the Government of Belize.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Coffee shop culture has caught on in Belize, and whether you travel to San Ignacio, Orange Walk, Corozal, Placencia, San Pedro, or Belmopan, each has its own coffee house scene. But one entrepreneur took his vision for a coffee shop in a different direction. 30-year-old Gerzon Tobar created a coffee cart offering hand-pressed espresso and caffeinated drinks. Jaleesa Roberts stopped by the side of the road for a sip and some coffee science.
So today we're here at the Toblerone Slow Cafe Coffee Cart here in St. Matthew's Village, where we will be speaking with the owner and the founder and the creative behind this innovative idea that we've never seen in Belize before.
Cafe culture has been taking Belize by storm, with a new cafe popping up almost every month. But one that stood out, the Cafe on Wheels, that offers customers gourmet coffee on the roadside and offers villagers almost the same curated coffee aesthetic they get in the city. After saving money for 3 years, doing plenty of research, and trying new recipes with his wife as a taste tester, Jerson Tabar developed a passion for making coffee that led to the creation of his mobile coffee stand.
I started having a huge passion for coffee. I started researching a lot about it. My wife actually also got me into it. She was the first one that really loved coffee, and basically she's like got me into coffee. So after that, I did a lot of research, and then I started acquiring a few things that I needed, like to start off with my coffee. I started with a small little manual grinder and a little mocha pot, and then I basically started researching more, and I wanted to get into espresso making, and basically that got me here. And I chose this mobile one, this handmade one, because I wanted to do a cart. I always had it in the back of my mind, like I want to do street coffee. So basically my research got me there.
Simple enough, the cart is welded onto a bicycle, and he rides from his home to St. Matthew's Park on the roadside, where he currently sets up shop. Practical, but also an expression of creativity, taking a known commercial model and tweaking it with a rural flair and curating it to match his artistic heart.
Myself as an artist, I am a self-taught artist, so I actually found it very intriguing to be able to make something with my hands. And that's why I also like the manual process, because I basically make everything with my hands, kind of like very artistic way.
The 30-year-old with a 1-year-old son would have never imagined that the creativity of making a TikTok reel would have made him go viral. When we asked him how he sees himself, he said he's just a village man with passion.
A guy that lives in this little village that has a passion for a lot of things. I consider myself a very creative person. I like learning new things. I like sports. So basically just consider myself this guy that lives in a tiny village that likes exploring things.
But this villager has a dream that can allow him to provide for his family and himself. Tabar was born in Belize, the son of immigrants. He grew up seeing his parents struggle to raise him and his siblings, but they also started their own business.
My mom is Guatemalan and my dad is Salvadorian.
His cart illustrates the sense of purpose which many immigrants carry, and also fuels innovation. But more than that, Tabar just wants to give people good coffee.
What I wanted was basically explore coffee and to brew a really good cup for people. I wanted to take something different, like a street coffee to people, but do it in a way that's very just creative, but also a very good cup of coffee.
But even with the best beans and brew, every startup comes with its own struggles. But he lives by a simple motto that is shown on a book on his cart, which says, God is in the small stuff.
My plans are, I do want to do pop-ups. I want to take it to events. I want to take it to Belmopan, other places for people to be able to know the coffee cart. And for now, yes, I'm situated right here, and I want also people to know this little village for the coffee.
And apart from putting his village on the map, his one piece of advice is,
go for your dreams, and nothing is impossible.
You can find Gerson on Instagram or at mile 39 on the George Price Highway. The Belikin-La Ruta Maya is scheduled to run from March 6th to the 9th, but there's dissatisfaction brewing amongst the paddlers. Discussions have been held about possibly moving the finish line from the historic Belkin Bridge to the Hullover Bridge. The Canoe Association is raising safety concerns as the Hullover Creek and portion of the river under the bridge often carry a dangerous current. We spoke via phone with Vice President of the association, Elvin Penner, who shared his feelings that commercialism is slowly killing the race as it is more about money than history or culture.
I think the focus of the race has shifted
from it being about the river itself, the well-being of the river, keeping the river clean, educating paddlers and other persons about the river. I hardly see that or hear that mentioned at all. I don't see them cleaning up the river edge the way they used to. Then you have the Mayan culture. The very name says it, La Ruta Maya Belize River Challenge. That was one main focus. Then we had the culture, the diverse culture along the river valley, all the way from San Ignacio to Belize City, the culture changes, so highlighting the culture. And of course, trying to make the race better for the paddlers, particularly because they are, at the end of the day, the most important entity of the race. The sponsors, make sure that the sponsors are comfortable and they want to continue sponsoring the teams. And of course, the fans and the families themselves. So that focus to me has been lost to a large extent, and the race has been very much commercialized. So the commercial aspect, the business aspect of the race is, to me, what it's focused on most nowadays, which will slowly kill the race, because to us, it's not about money. It's about having representation out there for your company.
Penner implores the committee to rethink its decision, as it is a major investment for each team. A businesswoman is left distraught after police officers broke into her house using a knife while she was away in Melcher. The LaCroix Boulevard resident says she has never been bothered by the police before, but by the looks of the footage, it appears they were really intent at getting at something. So much so that they tried to break into her house. We spoke with homeowner Natalie Zelaya, and this is what she said off camera.
I went to Melcher on Sunday. I left my home about 9:30 in the morning because I'm a business person. I went to pick up my purchase that I usually do, on a probably daily basis. Okay, while at Melcher about 2:30 in the afternoon, my daughter called me. She said, Mom, someone entered the home. And I was like, why would someone enter the home? And then she said, Mom, I'm going to review the camera. So she went and she reviewed the camera. When she reviewed the camera, she saw 2 police with guns at my door. They were knocking, but she was not at home. So they knocked with the video that she sent me, and looked like because nobody was at home, they took it on their own hands to use a knife and got into my home.
Did they mention to anyone in the area why they were searching your home?
No, they didn't mention to anyone. My neighbors said that they went to search their house, but because they were at home, they didn't get the chance to search their home. And then they just went over my yard to search my house. But what are they looking for?
Have you filed a report as it?
No, I haven't filed a report as it because I'm trying to seek some legal advices at the moment. I really feel bad because the thing is, if I never have a camera in my home, I would have never known that, who entered my house.
Zelaya has still not lodged an official report and is currently seeking legal advice. 300 Port Loyola constituents received land titles for the first time today. Half of them got their land in the city and half received titles for properties in the surrounding villages. Area Representative Gilroy Osher spoke with us on how significant today's distribution was.
Today we are going to enable at least 300 residents of the Port Loyola Division to become first-time landowners. And that is a tremendous achievement because for many years people have longed for the opportunity to own a piece of the jewel in order to build their homes, build their farms, and use the land as collateral to improve their families in terms of housing, education, healthcare, and so on. Some of the land is located in the Port Loyola area, Arlington Drive, Farbers Road Extension, Penn Road Extension. So some of the land is also located in Sand Hill, 8 Mile, John Smith Road, and Lairville. Well, what happened is that years ago, a large portion of the land on Penn Road belonged to the estate of one Mr. Woods. And so government had acquired the property in 1998. So I followed it up, and then I was able to identify the area for John Woods that wasn't surveyed, and I got the surveyor to survey it, and then I gave it out to the people. One of the things that is good about that is that most of the persons who have received the land in Fabers Road, Penwood Extension, are persons who have been settling on those lands, living on those lands for some of them for decades. When it was high bush, but in getting it surveyed, I gave the persons who have structure there, who are living there, the opportunity to apply for those places first.
But what good is land if you can't even get to it? Some of the properties do not currently have access. Usher expressed that he hopes government will begin to allocate funds to create access roads in rural areas so more persons can get to their properties easily.
When I began running in Port, there was an era in Arlington Drive Extension. People were living in swamp. And previous area representatives said that, well, they're going to live there, so basically left me right there. I took a different approach, and so I took the necessary steps to get the place surveyed and give it out to the residents there. So if you go there now, you see the letter, as a matter of fact, Hands in Hands is building a house for a family right there now. All right? Yes. As the area representative for Port Level, one of the things that I'm pressing for is for government to allocate at least $2 million in the budget yearly for access roads, because that's a problem. This government has given out more lots to Belizeans than the previous government did in 13 years. But we must go a step further now, and that is that providing the access roads for people to get the opportunity to develop their land. Because yes, you have a land on John Smith Road, or yes, you have a land in Sand Hill, but when you go there, if there is no road for you to reach your location, then it's difficult. But if they have a main road there, people can manage to build like a little car or whatever to reach your land nearby. But if it's just raw bush, then the access road is needed. So I'm asking the government to allocate $2 million in the present budget for access road, and to make a commitment to reserve at least $200 million, not 200, $2 million in future budget for access road.
Finally tonight, the UDP Belize Rural South team held a press conference today in San Pedro town. The goal was to discuss issues regarding municipal matters and the path towards 2027 local elections. One of the more pressing issues discussed was the dredging on the island. Senator Gabriel Zatina explained that they must protect the island more effectively. And that's all we have for you on our newscast for tonight. Thanks for watching with your news. I'm Indira Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a great night. Join me back here tomorrow at 6.